Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about how to use a circular polarizer doing automotive photography. Everybody's familiar with the polarizer for brightening blue skies and taking the glare out of water, and they're fantastic for that. But they're also useful for other reflective surfaces, such as cars. Bet you didn't know that. I love using my Singh-Ray ColorCombo circular polarizer for doing automotive photography, and I'm going to show you why. As you can see, we've got this Olds 88 that's sitting here. It's seen better days. I didn't do that dent, by the way. But you take the polarizer, and you can kind of see right there where it's taking some of the glare out of the windshield. Now, it's hard to show through this camera, but we're about to put it on my 5D, and we're going to see a little bit better. But you see that it can control a little bit of where the glare is. That's what I'm looking for more than anything. And as you see, it actually does take a couple stops worth of light out of the equation. So keep that in mind when you're using a polarizer, and once you put it on the camera, you do have to actually adjust for that exposure difference. So to put one on, it's very simple. And as you see, there's actually, if we can get it to focus, well, there's an inner ring and an outer ring, and those are designed to function independently. So when you're putting it on the lens, you want to make sure and get that knurled knob right here tightened down so that it doesn't start rotating, because to get that effect, you're going to twist the filter back and forth, and that's going to give you that effect of reducing the glare in the picture. So keep that in mind. It's not a screw on and forget it. Best way to go in and adjust it is to look through the viewfinder, because you don't get any of the outside glare that's showing from the LCD on the back of the camera. Oh, and speaking of glare, since we are actually shooting in the sun today, I want to make sure and put the lens hood on. And you can adjust this with the lens hood on, but most of the times it is easier to get your fingers around it when the lens hood's off. So what I'm going to do to show you here is we're going to get the live view going, and I've already set up the shot, so I don't need to worry about moving the camera around. And as you see, I've already set my focus about a third of the way in, and I'm using the hood ornament as reference. You can see where that focusing grid is. That's what I'm focusing on, and I'm going to go and get the amount of polarization that I want. I'm going to try to get a good view here. You can see the glare on the windshield change. There we go. That's about maximum polarization. The richness of the rust on the hood has increased. The glare from the sun on the windshield has decreased. So that's where I want my polarizer set. Now, another way to set it is to bring up the histogram. Now watch what happens as I'm twisting. See, it's getting brighter. The histogram's moving to the right. Now it's starting to move to the left. It's getting darker. If you are having a hard time seeing, as sometimes you are in bright sun, if you look at that histogram, and if you want maximum polarization, you go ahead and you twist it until that histogram moves all the way to the left. Now you come, put your lens hood on. That keeps any ghosting, any issues off the front element of that lens. Now we go in and look at the exposure. And remember, we are going to have to adjust the exposure for the polarizer. Now I've already set it up with the polarizer on there, so we're pretty close. But we can see once I get the light meter set, we're at about a -1, which for that area is about right. But honestly, I look at the histogram more than anything. I want to make sure I don't have anything that's just jumping over here on the right hand side. There's a lot of things that are going to be highlights here, and I want to make sure I keep those at bay. It's okay to have a little bit, but I don't want to blow out a whole lot of stuff. So I've got the exposure set pretty much where I want it, and that's going to be at f14 about 1/6 of a second, and I'm at ISO 100. So we're going to go ahead and take the exposure. Well, let me just double check focus. Now I have already set this up, but I'm going to set it up again just to show you how I do it. Now go in here, I've zoomed it all the way in, and you can see where the focus changes. So I get it sharp as I can on that point right there, zoom out, and then it's a matter of press the button. Boom. And there you go, double check the histogram. As you see, nothing is blown out on the right, and there was still plenty of detail on the left, which is the dark. So that should be a pretty good image.